It's 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock. You're trying to get dinner on. You had a long, rough day. Things are running late. Your kid's pulling at your legs, screaming and crying because you did the unthinkable thing. You cut their sandwich the wrong direction. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Brian Massimini, father of 7 kids and a nervous system focused chiropractor in Orem, Utah. And today we're going to talk about why life with infants and toddlers can be a little rough, why they're throwing fits, why they're throwing tantrums, and maybe they're doing it for a reason that maybe you're not aware of. And I think this is going to help change your mindset about how to help them and how to show up with them, okay? So life with toddlers, life with infants, we know like they're going to throw tantrums. They have big emotions. It's crazy to think about that these little people have such big emotions, right? It's not something we think about or talk about very often, but they do. They have big emotions. From the very get-go of being born, they're going through the birth canal. They're experiencing the cold temperatures. People are touching, poking, prodding, right? They have to learn how to nurse. They have to learn how to have a bowel movement. From the very get-go, challenges begin, okay? And so their bodies are going through challenges and stressors because it's teaching their body how to show up, how to live life, how to exist in this experience, in this thing called life. So we have to know how to help them through that and stop trying to stop the stresses, okay? Because they are helping them to learn and to grow. Some of these things are really frustrating though as a parent, which I totally get. Sometimes you just don't know if you're doing the right thing, if we're too strict, maybe we're not strict enough, we need to have more rules. Maybe at the end of the day, I've gone to bed so many times frustrated with myself thinking like, man, I was so hard on my little 2-year-old, right? Frustrated out of my mind, I can't communicate. These are normal things, and I'd like to share with you a few out of the box thinking of things of why this is going on that could hopefully help you show up differently for them. First and foremost, we need to understand that the first system that develops in utero as that fetus is developing, the first system that comes along is the nervous system. After that, the other systems like the digestion and the immune and the endocrine, all of those things come later after that. But the nervous system is clutch because it's based off of the perception of the individual of what certain systems and hormones are then activated and how they perceive stress. Okay, so nervous system regulation and balance is clutch. It's key for the individual, and it's also for you as a parent, okay? It's not until the age of 3 that an infant, a toddler, that they actually start developing the brakes of their emotions. Okay, what does this mean? Part of the brain actually helps us to regulate, hey, maybe I don't want to feel these things, or like, hey, let's get control of myself. That's not even a thought in their mind until about the age of 3. So we have those first 3 years of just experiences with people and sounds and new foods and loud noises and traveling and missing naps, right? All of these just life things that are happening. How is their body adapting to those things? Am I still growing? My body's trying to take nutrients and digest them. How is my body doing with assimilating all these experiences and helping me to grow into them? Until that age of 3, their body's not regulating it. It's just experiencing it, okay? And so understanding this helps you to realize, maybe, just maybe their defiance and their tantrums, okay, aren't necessarily a bad thing. It's not like they're doing it in defiance of me as a parent, right? And they're not throwing it in my face. They are simply unregulated. They don't know what they're doing with it, okay? Just experiencing it along for the ride, and when they get overwhelmed, they blow up. And it turns into a tantrum because they're screaming for help. Somebody help me, right? So if this is the case, what are some important things for us to know about as parents, especially moms, because statistically speaking, moms are the ones home with them the most, okay? So one thing we need to learn and understand is your baby, your child, your toddler nervous system is in large measure dependent on you, especially in the womb. As that nervous system is developing, the stresses that you are going through as a mom carrying this fetus as it's developing, their nervous system is learning from yours. So if we're going through tough things and life is happening to us, job losses, deaths in the family, or just relationship strife or whatever it is, they're along for the ride with us. They're learning right along with us. And then when they're born, they start experiencing things in a new way. When they experience them, though, remember, they don't have that brake system yet. They're just experiencing all of this speed of experiences going through them. When they're going through a tantrum or an overwhelming experience, one of the things that they look to is us to teach them what a normal response is to the stress. So in large measure, they need us to help them to learn what an appropriate response is to these stressful things. So our regulation as a parent is crucial and clutch for their learning of a regulation nervous system. So understanding these things, we realize that most of the time this isn't a discipline problem, and I don't need to be this harsh, crazy, intense parent. We just need to realize they need help learning what it means to regulate, what appropriate responses are to these big things, proper response to help them get through it instead of avoiding it, okay? Another thing to remember is whether you're a first-time parent or whether you're a first-time parent with a toddler and an infant and a newborn, right? There's different phases that we go through. Both of you are developing at the same time in different ways. And so we have to be able to give each other a little bit of grace. Your body's adapting, your nervous system is learning how do I be a mom? How do I be pregnant? And I got kids, I got toddlers, or how do I know how to be a first-time mom? I've never done it before. How do I stop working and transition into full-time, stay-at-home mom? Your nervous system is trying to regulate and learn as well, and then you bring on this infant who looks to you for regulation. So the point of this is we can give each other a little bit of grace, for both brains are learning together in different ways, okay? So these are important things to know because it gives you a different point of view. So what can we do about it? What are some real action, important things that we can do? First and foremost, when your child is having a tantrum and they're feeling big emotions and they don't know how to regulate, remember that's what's happening here, one of the first things that we can do is connection. Let them know that you're there, okay? When they feel backed up into a wall, they feel panicked, I don't know what's going on, they need to know that, hey, mom is here, dad is here, and we got this. Lean on me for a minute here, okay? So maybe that looks like getting on their level, holding them, looking them in the eye, a soft touch on the back, just some type of connection first. Don't come at it with big emotions. Connection first. Allow this connection to be made so that we can start to regulate together. Knowing this now, it's also important for us as parents to regulate ourselves. So this is where it gets very personal. What can you do? What have you done in your life that regulates yourself? Maybe that's needing to tap out and take a break. Maybe that's making sure our sleep is regulated. Maybe it's I need help from grandma and grandpa for a minute, managing finances at different times, maybe it's making sure our diet and our exercise and our social life isn't hurting, right? What is it for you that you do to take a breather? And the important thing to differentiate here is what helps me to rejuvenate versus am I using it to avoid, okay? Different, it could look the same, but it has a different response to us internally. For just avoiding, we're not actually rejuvenating and coming back with a regulated nervous system to share with our toddler and our infant, okay? Another thing you can do is to head off some of these stressful things for your kids. So you're gonna look at foods, transitional times like handing off to a babysitter, okay? Certain people that come around, or routine disruptors like don't mess with my snack time and my rest routine, right? So move your grocery shopping around if you need. A lot of your life has to adapt around baby for a minute, okay? So these are all some great things that we can do to head off the stressful things building up in these kids, okay? So they don't go nuclear on us. So one final thing that you can do to help your kid's nervous system is to bring them in and get a nervous system scan. Depending on your child's age, we will do 2 to 3 different scanning options to give us an insight into how well their nervous system is actually functioning. Okay, so if your kid is under 3, we do 2. So one is a thermal scan where we literally look at the temperature of the spinal cord at different levels of the spine, and we look to see how the communication is happening that way. And then second, we do what's called a heart rate variability, where we look at the resiliency. okay, and the adaptability of the nervous system. If your child is 3 or older, then we take those two and then add on a third thing, which is electromyography, where we scan the muscles of the spinal cord, around the spinal cord, and we look to see how well the nervous system is communicating through those muscles. So based off of those pieces of information, it allows me to give you proper insight of certain areas of the spine, certain communication pathways that need to be opened up and freed up to allow them to experience life, the stresses and the challenges of life, and adapt to them, through them, and grow with them appropriately.